Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse, and guys, we are back again with another stream. Of course, this is the spoiler discussion for Marvel Television's Wonder Man. How is everybody doing today, this Wednesday? Of course, it's Wednesday, I think it's the 28th. So we had Wonder Man last night. It debuted at 9 p.m. EST. I actually did a watch party. I just want to say thank you for everybody joining my watch party. It was long. We started at 8. The episodes dropped at 9, and then we ran it until about 1 in the morning. It was fun though, but it was a long ride. But it was really really fun seeing everybody in there. A couple of people that I know stuck in there was Seth. Seth, I don't know if you're in there, but you stuck with me until the very end. So I just want to say thank you. Quick shout out to you. We got 10 people in here. Thank you for everybody in here. But yeah, we're going to talk Wonder Man. What's everybody's overall thoughts on Wonder Man? Of course, full spoilers. What's up, Ultra? Nice to see you. I saw you gave your little review in the Discord. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You said, what's good? Not much, Terrell. How's it going with you? I am still getting over being sick, guys, so I might sound a little bit weird, but bear with me. I'm gonna try to take it pretty easy today for this because I'm a little bit still recovering for being sick. So yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. You said I do hope he appears in the movies. Otto, I completely agree. Lawrence, he said, "Yo, what's up? I loved the whole series." Seth, same. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. You said it was so good. Destin, the cast, the crew killed it. It's a great character study about both Simon and Trevor. Surprisingly, a great show and an enjoyable ride. That is true, Terrell. You said it right there. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, okay, dope. I'm glad everybody's seeming to like it. Let's go. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely high up for me on the Disney Plus list. Loki, of course, is still first. And then I don't know. I'm torn because I would love to kind of put this either behind. I'm torn because I would probably put this behind. I want to say Agatha all along because I really still enjoy that show, and Ironheart's still pretty high up there too as well. But this was just so real and grounded. I think I'd give this the number 2 spot. And I like Daredevil Born Again as well, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Daredevil Born Again would be my number 2. Maybe this would be my number 3. Then Agatha, then Ironheart. Then I'd do probably Moon Knight, then Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that's how I would do it. And WandaVision's on that list as well. I don't know. Ranking is going to be hard, but this is definitely high up there for sure. Chris Nolan, yeah, Chris Nolan. You said, bro, the fact that Chris Nolan, Olaf's actor, The Matrix, and the writer's strike was canon, yeah. That's insane, laughing my ass off, Chris Nolan. Yeah, I didn't feel like they were in the MCU, and I feel like that for some reason. Oh, they definitely are. I didn't feel like they were in the MCU. Well, we saw Rogers the Musical. There was a lot of like Easter eggs. Of course, we had the Roxxon name drop or logo in episode 4. There was definitely signs of it, and of course, Damage Control. That was a big one. But there are signs that this is definitely in the MCU. You said, I think they should have made it a special like Punisher and Werewolf by Night. WandaVision, Loki still on my top 2 for me, yeah. The Doorman episode was so unique and funny. The Doorman episode, for me, I like how they did it because I wanted to know why superheroes weren't or superpowered individuals were not allowed to be in the Hollywood space. So it made sense, and it took me a minute to realize, in episode 3, Simon mentions the kind of like the doorman situation, but he calls it the one dude that got stuck inside the one person from that episode. And that made then it started to make sense for me where they were going with it. So I was like, okay, but I'm not gonna lie, that episode could have been a little bit shorter. It kind of killed momentum a little bit for me. Episodes 4 and 5, I didn't really love, but then we kind of started to get back on track after really towards the end of episode 5 on. So I would say those are my least favorite episodes, but I'm glad that the only reason I say episode 4 is sort of my least favorite is because it could have been shorter. I don't think it needed to be as long as it was. This show is definitely my top 10 in my top 10. Okay, cool. You said Cloak and Dagger reference. Um, yeah, wasn't that a part of Roxxon as well for Cloak and Dagger? Sam's costume in The Office. Yeah, yeah. I feel like Simon is a mutant. I think so too because they didn't give an explanation of how he got his power, so I think he is a mutant. A Doorman episode is not meant to be funny. It's meant to show how Hollywood treats black men. See, I didn't pick up on that. I just picked up on the fact that, it you have a one set you have your one like minute of fame, and then people look at you as like a butt of a joke. You know what I mean? Like, like a has been. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you were popular at one point. You had your 10 minutes of fame. Now you get moved on, and people start to laugh at like, oh, like why like that's the way I looked at it personally. So, and kind of like how the Hollywood industry always changes, like it's always changing and it's always moving. That's the way I looked at it, and looking at like once you hit fame, things can change. What? All right, you said I adore this show. At least a top 3 MCU series for me. Need season 2 now. Yeah, it was really really good. Lawrence, yeah, rather than being seen as a complex person or actor, Doorman is quickly turned into one note sensation. Yeah, yeah. They are then eh, blamed then blame or abandon them when challenges arise. Yeah, you said in the theater scene in the first episode, you can see the poster from movie that brands from Loki season 2. I didn't see. Okay, was in, and maybe movie poster of Eternal that became an actor. Okay, it was probably the most heartfelt episode. Which one? The Doorman episode? Um yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed with what they were doing in that episode. I just feel like the length could have been for that episode just should have been a little bit shorter cuz they had a lot of cuz at first I didn't know what they were doing. Amongst other people in my Twitch chat were wondering, what is this episode? This feels very different. Like, what are they trying to do in this episode? And I, for a minute, thought, okay, is this a movie? And I was like, okay, wait a second. He's got powers. This might not be a movie. And then we kind of get more into the Hollywood side of things. I was like, okay. I was like, he did mention to Trevor someone's name, and there's a reason why superpowered individuals cannot be in the Hollywood space. And I was like, okay, this might be this incident on what happened. So I was like, it started to click, but it took a minute. You know what I mean? You said, Seth, I'm excited to see what Rockstar says about the Easter eggs in the whole series. Yeah, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. The Doorman, met, you said metaphor is about the noir doors of opportunity in Hollywood opens, and the speed with which black talent can be dismissed when success uh, falters. Okay. Yeah, you're looking in like the. I guess you're looking at it as like in the deep. I didn't even look at it like that, but that's actually I see what you mean. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed the essence of this is just Simon Williams is just a dude that wants to be an actor and is trying to really just he's living his day-to-day life trying to get acting roles, but also trying to like be successful in this space, and it's hard to be successful in the space of acting. And he's not in it for the money, he's in it for the craft, and that's what him and Trevor kind of connect on. And I was actually surprised. When kind of like Trevor, we find out that he's actually working with damage control. That was actually surprising to me. I really didn't see that coming when he was like that he was going to be like he was working with damage control. I didn't see that one coming until like he was on the phone, and I kind of started putting things together like, okay, like is he actually like I was like, oh, he's working for damage control. I was like, that makes sense. I didn't see that coming in the story. I just thought it was natural that him and Simon would run into each other at auditions because they're both Hollywood actors and they're both trying to make it. So I was like, that's the way I saw it, but it made sense. Okay, where does damage control fit into this? So Trevor Slattery used to be the Mandarin. He did escape via the what was it? That special that they had. It was like a behind the scenes of him, the kind of the Ten Rings breaking him out of prison. And then he ends up being, of course, in Shang-Chi. And then he ends up coming back to trying to make it again in Hollywood. And then that's when the damage control gets him. So it makes sense that they would, kind of like to not be put back in prison, negotiate something where it's like, you need to help us get Simon, and then we'll let you go free. It's very much so like, that makes sense. This is actually genius. I forgot that, he didn't fulfill his prison sentence. I was like, it all makes sense. You said was happy that Jaden was okay in the last episode. As the other episode, we didn't know what happened to him. Jaden. I don't know who is that, Jaden. When they made him punch through dude's head and he woke up, I was like shocked. Yeah, I thought that was real. At first. I was like, oh my God, he didn't just do that. I honestly thought it was real. So they got the shock factor out of me. And also my reactions, guys, if you guys missed my watch party, it is up. The whole stream archive of my reactions to episodes 1 through 8 are up on Patreon right now. They are free. So yeah. The guy with the GoPro. Oh yeah. He's fine. He was fine. I didn't think anything happened to him. You know what I mean? Would you think he like got shot in the episode? In episode 3? I thought he was fine. I kind of figured he was fine. Or episode 5. I didn't think anything happened to that dude. But the fact that they were able to make a series that was so heartfelt, story-driven, grounded. I just want to give a shout out to the cinematography. It was so unique, and it was so crisp, and it had like a grain to it. It felt so lived in. The way they used the cinematography, it reminded me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like how it's that type of cinematography where it's like there's camera grain. It felt so real, and this world felt so lived in, and I'm so glad that this was so grounded in the world of the MCU, where it's about gods and heroes, and it's all like, bigger than life. You have the Simon's world where it's so grounded and so real, and it's just he's just a person trying to make it in the Hollywood space. And he gets this opportunity of the remake of Wonder Man, and him, like, he was right. He was born to play that character. He got introduced to. I even said this way before we knew much about the series. I was the one that said the reason he wants to be this character is because of his connection with him and his dad, because it was his dad's favorite movie, and he showed Simon his favorite movie, and that made Simon love that movie. And he's been in the acting space, and his dad said he was very talented. He's like, usually, I know, like, parents are supposed to say, oh, you're really great in this, or you're really, say that you're good in something, but it's like, no, you're absolutely, like, you're talented, Simon, and I could see you doing this. You're going to be up there one day. And it's like everything goes full circle, where it was a remake of this movie that he saw when he was a child, that this is his calling. This is what he's been working towards. And I love that. It's about chasing your dreams. It's about achieving those dreams. It's about, going through the trials and tribulations, going through the hurdles to get to that dream, because he's had, like you saw in the beginning, episode 1, how much, like, he was in the acting space. He was in there, but it was almost like he was trying too hard. He was kind, in a way, some directors would say that was being difficult in the acting space, when you're saying, oh, this isn't working, or why don't we try this, why don't we try that. Some directors aren't wanting to do that. They're like, you're the actor, I'm the director, do what you're told. That's usually how it goes. You really have to build up a lot of, like, credibility before you can be like, oh, can we try this, oh, can we try that, because I know how the Hollywood space works. And it's like, they have quotas. They have to get to, like, they have to, like, start filming at a time, end filming at a time. They have quotas that they need to hit. So when Simon was putting in his pieces, he was taking up time. And at that point, some people would say he was being hard to work with. And I was like, oh, I knew, like, it's because he cares, but that's not the way they're seeing it. They're like, he's being hard to work with. And that's why they fired him. And I was like, so when he got the role of Wonder Man, he was starting to do his thing again. I was like, crap. I was like, I know he cares, but some people would look at this as being hard to work with, because it's like, you only get so much, like, being able to give your piece without feeling like you're taking over the director's job. You know what I mean? Like, you can always give an idea, but you never want to kind of take that position, if that makes any sense. You said it didn't have a lot of CGI. No, it didn't. It was very grounded. It was the only moments where there was CGI was, of course, his powers being used. And I do love, on the red carpet, someone said, oh, very little CGI or no CGI. And I was thinking to myself, did he happen to use any of his powers? It was that kind of like an inside joke that, no CGI, probably him using his abilities, and no one knowing. I don't know. It was very funny to me when they mentioned that. It was like, oh, they didn't use any CGI or something. Or maybe it was probably a little kind of acknowledging fans, like, CGI is such a big thing nowadays, and fans are take CGI as, oh, it's a bad thing, when it's not really, you know what I mean? Maybe they were poking fun. I don't know, but I like how they put that in there, to be honest. I thought that was funny. You said, sad that Trevor didn't bring mirrors from Shang-Chi to LA. Mirrors, Shang-Chi to LA, yeah, mirrors, yeah. Yo, what's up, Jan? How's it going? You said, for some reason, I saw parallels with this show to My Hero. Yeah, as a kid, Simon and Deku watched their hero, and later on wanted to be great, and both All Might and Von Kovacs saw something great in him. That's a great parallel, Ultra Nerd. I'm glad you picked that up. That's sick. You said, they did the thing where they saved it for the last couple of episodes primarily. Yeah, they did. He showed his power in episode, I think it was episode 3. It was in his apartment. It was in episode 7. And that was pretty much, and then it was in episode 5. So he barely used his ability, and I'm glad they didn't, like, because, again, in episode, what was it, episode 4? No, it was an episode, I think it was episode 3, where Simon uses his powers after his family gathering, and he tells I think he was talking to Trevor, and I'm trying to, like, think of where I was going with that, but I think Trevor said, you're more than your power, or he said that in episode maybe it was episode 6 he said that, or I don't know where he said it, but he told Simon, you're more than your ability. You're not your ability. And it's like, I do feel like that was also him. The reason why he wasn't using his powers is because, you know, he's not just his ability. And, you know, maybe he was always, I just saw that there was something in that very like breaking the fourth wall with that is that you're not just your ability, you're more than that. And I really did like that. I thought that was cool. That, you know, Trevor saw more than just his powers. Well, all Simon could think of is that, you know, my powers are such a problem. It's like you're more than you're more than just that. You know what I mean? You're a great person. And I do like how we saw that through the series that, you know, Simon was standing up for Trevor in the midst of Trevor trying to get information on Simon for the damage control. I really liked how that all that was going through, where like Trevor was starting to realize Simon's a really good person and he's not this dangerous person that everybody's describing him to be because he has powers. It's like he's more than that. And Simon saw his powers as dangerous, and damage control saw his powers as dangerous, and he's more than just that. He is a good person. It seems like Simon couldn't focus on those aspects of himself, and he needed someone to kind of showcase that or see that and tell him that, which I'm glad that, you know, he had a friend to be there and tell him all those things. So it's nice because they both found a friend in one another, because they were different and they saw that as being a bad thing, or when it's not really the case. So it's like they were learning from one another and they became each other's friends, and I'm glad. I'm really, really glad for that. You said, what was it? You said, they did the thing primarily. Yeah, you said, did they make Trevor like mentor in the show? Yeah, he was like a mentor. He was like a mentor, Jan. Yeah. This is like the franchise on HBO, but they show the pitfalls of making a superhero movie. Yeah. Ultra Nerd, you said, what's crazy is that She-Hulk is in LA. I wonder if Simon first met with Jennifer Walters about his powers before being an actor. I don't know. That's a great question. I honestly don't know. Because I do wonder, like, when I wanted to know, like, I guess we know when he had his powers is when he was younger, is when he realized he was different. And already before that, he felt like an outcast. So his powers even made him feel more like an outcast, that he couldn't trust anybody, because he didn't have a friend or someone that he felt like he could kind of confide into until he met Trevor. Where Trevor's like, you know, that doesn't mean anything to me that you got your powers. It doesn't make me look at you any differently. Like, I know you as you. Like, the powers don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I liked that. And it didn't scare him away either. You said, could Wonder Man appear in Vision Quest? I don't know, although that's a great question. We'll have to wait and see. I think he might make his appearance in Secret Wars, but I don't know yet. They might also save him for the next phase of Marvel. Who knows? Maybe in the Mutant Saga, because he is, I feel like it's more known now that he is a mutant. So that would be peak Auto, yeah. Episode 8, Flying, is practical, and the breaking of the bars. Yeah. In a way it is. Yeah. Because he has his powers. So yeah, it's, I guess you could say very meta for that, because it's a show about someone in the acting space. It's like he was doing that and broke the bars and stuff. Yeah. I guess very, very meta if you look at it that way. They name dropped Corey, is it Thomas? Thomas, you said they name dropped Coronation Street. Never did I think would hear the words Coronation Street in a Marvel show. I know about it because my mom watches it and talks about it. Okay, cool. Charlie, you said it's a narrative driven story about a struggling actor first and foremost. It just happens that this actor has powers, but the powers were barely used, and it focuses on isn't the focus, and like that change. Yeah, I like that change. I like that change too, that it is about someone trying to achieve their dreams, and I connected to that because You guys are here right now. I'm trying to achieve my dreams. Every day I do a live stream or video or anything or post, it's me trying to achieve my dreams. So I connected a lot with Simon. Especially I connected a lot with Simon on his love for film. So I really did connect with this character. I really, really did. So I also liked Simon's like way of looking at scripts. I thought that was cool. How he had a method, how he had like a process. And I also liked how Trevor was like, you got to get out of that process. You got to get out of it or you're never going to get the role. You got to do, you just got to not think about it. Just do. Just act. Just just do it. I liked that. I like how where Simon always like it needs to be by the book. I have a process. I'm glad that someone was able to get Simon out of his shell and get him out of that process, like not make him think for once. Because it's the one thing about Simon, he was always thinking. He was always thinking, always worried. He wasn't just letting himself act. He was always in his head, always trying too hard. And someone like Trevor, he doesn't try too hard. He just is kind of like doing it. He's just doing it. He's letting the craft do the work. And I'm glad that he needed someone like Trevor, a friend that could be like, just do it. You got it. You're talented. You just go do it. Don't think too much. Turn the brain off. I liked that. I thought that was cool. You said they could have put in Shang-Chi or Katie. I thought that, honestly, when they got to that, like, hidden bar, I thought that was, like, the karaoke bar that Shang-Chi and Katie went to in the Shang-Chi movie, but I think I was wrong. I heard they referenced Cloak and Dagger in the show. I didn't pick that up, unless it's the Roxxon name. I don't know, but I didn't pick up on the Cloak and Dagger. Although you said it was nice that his brother wasn't a villain like in the comics. Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with that. I know a lot of people wanted him to become the villain. I'm okay that he didn't, because I'm glad that at the end of the story, his brother was like tearing up in the theater because he saw, wow, like my brother actually is talented. I owe him an apology. He made it. I think it was crappy that he wasn't in his brother's corner to begin with, but I'm glad at the end of the story his brother was in his corner. I'm glad. So, you said, is the Cloak and Dagger show even MCU canon? I don't know. That was the one I don't know. I don't think so. No. They could do it if they wanted to. I guess there's always room if they wanted to do it. Anything is possible. You said it, Lawrence. Anything is possible in the multiverse. That is a good point. So, like I said, I do like how this story was very grounded and was just about an actor that wanted to, make it in the acting space, that wanted to achieve his dream. And the dream that he had was being Wonder Man in the Wonder Man movie. That was really like essentially his dream role. And it was a story about him achieving his dream and making it in the acting space. And I love that. I love how it's simple. It's grounded. They're not focusing on his powers. It just so happens he has powers. And it's about friendship and about achieving your dreams. That's literally what this series was about. It's definitely high up on my list. It's up there with Loki. WandaVision's up there as well. I almost forgot about that. It's definitely up there. It's in my top 5. I'd say my top 5 for sure. It's up there. Like, if I had to do it, it would be Loki. Probably Loki. I would say WandaVision. I liked Agatha a lot. And then I might put this, and then I would do probably Ironheart if in my top 5. It sucks because Born Again, I liked Born Again, but like maybe Ironheart will be moved out of the top 5. Maybe it would be Loki, WandaVision. Probably, I really did enjoy Agatha. Probably Agatha, Born Again, and then I would probably do Ironheart. That's probably how I would do. So Loki, I forgot Wonder Man. So no. Loki, WandaVision, Agatha, Wonder Man, and then I'd probably put Born Again. That's probably where I would probably do it. and then I'd do Ironheart. Then I would probably do some other ones. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to pinpoint all of the Disney Plus shows in my head, but it's up there. It's up there for sure. You said Better Be Danger is bad as wait what? I gotta go back. You said I would assume so. Fox and Netflix shows are. It's Better Be Danger is bad as F. Cloak and Dagger was one of the better Marvel Hulu shows. I liked Runaways more than Cloak and Dagger. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Cloak and Dagger, but I liked Runaways a lot more. Legion is peak. I never watched Legion. I tried it, but I couldn't get past episode 1. I never seen it, but from what I heard, it looks interesting. Runaways is good. I recommend it, guys. It's really, really good. In my personal opinion, it's really good. The Vaughn Kovac, this is funny because he plays the president in the Superman movie. I forget of what I forget that because like I said, I don't really, yeah, but he was in the Superman movie. And I liked him. I liked him in this role. And I liked how he saw how special Simon was. And that's why, and he expected more from Simon, but it's not, especially after Simon did this Pretty Woman, I guess, was it, speech. So, yeah, which I thought was funny. I didn't even know that was from Pretty Woman until he said, so you did Pretty Woman. I was like, oh, okay. I've never seen it. So, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's what that's from. But then it started to make sense because I know the the overall plot of Pretty Woman. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That was from that. So yeah. But I did like him, how he saw something within Simon, and he wanted Simon to not kind of like showcase himself. And I like that Simon's like, I can't be myself because he saw himself just being the powers. Like he like kind of put 2 and 2 together where it's like, if I can't let people know the real me because the real me is my powers. And it's like, no, the real you is being a great actor, being a great person, someone that, never gives up to try to achieve their dream. Like there was more to Simon than his abilities. And I like that. I think that's why he didn't use his abilities as much because there's more to him than his powers. It's like, that's what I meant to say, is that there's really like a message there of the reason he didn't use his powers as much is because the powers don't define him. He is more than his abilities. And that's what Trevor was trying to say, is that you can let people know the real you because the real you isn't your powers. And that's the way you see yourself, is that you can't let people know you because it's like it's the secret that you have. It's like, no. And that's why I really enjoyed the one episode where, like, I think it was episode 7 or episode 6 when he finally got the role. I think it might have been episode 7, where the one New York Times person comes in and he's trying to, like, him and Trevor are trying to, like, not be themselves. And it's like, no, be yourself. Like, don't try to hide anything because people will then know you're hiding something. It's like, just be yourself. But I get it in a time where it's so dangerous to have powers, especially before it would be okay for people to know you have powers. But that was before the thing got put in place in Hollywood where you can't be in the acting space if you have powers. So it's like, at that point, it's so hard it must have been very hard for him to be like, I can't be myself because I'll lose my job, and that's the thing I love to do is act. I love to act, and I don't know who I really would be without acting. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I have a goals set for myself, and it's like, I don't know who I would be if it got out that I had powers. So it was really, really interesting. He said, but he was having this build up until he saw himself for who he is. Yeah. Exactly. Like, it was like almost like you saw the powers kind of like building up and him wanting to disperse that. It was almost in a way of like the essence of like keeping that secret and keeping that, like, not being able to like just be yourself it was like building up, and it was making him stressed and angry and upset, and that he couldn't just be himself. And it was really when him learning through Trevor is that you could be yourself. You are a good person. Him learning that, okay, like I can be myself. Like I don't need to. I did like it. I did like it. His assistant was doing the Gen Z stare. Wait, Gen Z stare? His assistant was doing the Gen Z stare, laughing my ass off. She couldn't not communicate. She could not communicate. His assistant was doing the Gen Z stare. I don't know. I don't know what that is. What? His assistant? Was it the dude? That was his assistant. Or, oh, her. Yeah, his assistant. Okay. Von Kovac's assistant. Yeah, I get what you mean. She just would stare and not say anything. Yeah. I get it now. Yeah. I did like this sequence too. I did like the sequence where it's like he was just getting so angry about the process of him trying to make this perfect self-tape, but it wasn't working. It wasn't working. He was getting upset, he was getting annoyed, he was getting frustrated. Because a lot was riding on him getting this rule. It's like, this is the rule that I've been wanting and I can't. It's like I'm struggling here. I got where he was coming from here. It's like, this is it. Like, this is it. This is the rule that I wanted to do, and if I don't get it, I don't know. I'm gonna lose it. Like, I get it. It's a joke about how Gen Z people do like service jobs. Oh, okay, yeah. They just stare and don't say anything. Oh yeah. I get it. I think I've seen that happen. The more mainly at Target, I see a lot when I'm asking a question and they're just staring at me. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, don't stare at me like that. Just come on. Like, I get it. I get that. Yeah. But guys, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Wonder Man. That it's almost like it was, the powers weren't the main focal point. It was him just trying to get his dreams. You know what I mean? And achieve his dream. I like that, and it connected with me. So, like I said, it's high on my list. Wonder Man. I really enjoyed the series. Seeing his suit, which I don't even know if we can get a picture of his suit, but seeing the suit finally, we saw the suit showcase, and it was revealed in episode 8. Like, it was revealed in the last episode, his suit. So, his suit was revealed in the last episode, which was sick to see the suit revealed. And I love how the music, as he was showing his suit, was Lord Knows by Meek Mill. That was sick. I was like, okay, fire. So I do like the suit. I hope the suit was on the red carpet in a case. I'm hoping he'll use that suit when we see him again and he's fighting. I really hope he does use this suit. I don't know if that's going to be the case, though. It feels like he would, because it is his suit from the movie, so I don't know. And it would be a shame to not use this suit when he's out fighting crime and doing things, so I really, really hope this is the suit that he ends up, this is what he has when he ends up fighting, or when we see him again. This is the suit he'll be rocking, so I hope. Because they be on their goddamn phone too much. It looks better in the show. I put a screen in your Marvel Discord channel. You just put a screenshot? Okay. In the Discord? He looks like Blade. I mean, is it the glasses? Even though Blade doesn't have like red glasses? Is that what you guys mean? This is a good still. I love the costume. Thanks also, Lawrence, for dropping it. I put the screenshot and then your Marvel Discord channel. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. It looks amazing. I love the way the costume looks. They literally, it's literally 1-to-1 from his version of the costume in the comics. So I am just very excited. I hope he wears it when he actually does hero stuff. I hope so. Yeah. And he his stature. Yeah. Yeah. And he stature. Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to see him rock this again. I don't know when he's going to appear next. That's up in the air. I also don't know if we're going to get a season 2. That's also up in the air. I don't know. I don't know necessarily if I need a season 2 of this. I honestly would prefer him show up in movies now, because I don't really know how you can make another season of this. And I do feel like them saying at the end of the series, when him and Von Kovac were talking on the red carpet, saying that we couldn't do a sequel. We shouldn't do a sequel. But let's talk and see what a sequel would look like. I don't know if you could do this again doing a second season. I don't know if you could do that. So I would honestly prefer him being now introduced in movies now, whether it's Midnight Suns, whether it's West Coast Avengers, whether it's Secret Wars. I really want him to now be in movie projects now. I don't know if I really necessarily want to see West Coast Avengers. I don't know if I do feel like they said that at the end for a reason, because I don't know how you would do a second season. I don't know how you would do that. So while people want a second season, I don't know how that would look, because this whole story was about him, Simon Williams, a very ground level story about just him trying to make it in the acting space, trying to make it in Hollywood. Him, getting the opportunity of a lifetime to play Wonder Man, a character that he loved as a child. Him finally getting that role. Him making his first friend with Trevor. I don't know at this point how you would then make a second season. I don't know how that would look. So I'm fully on board for him being in movies and projects now. I don't necessarily know if I want a second season, because I think that this is okay just being a one and done for a season, and then him being in the movies now. I think that's fine. I don't know how because I can't picture a second season. I honestly can't picture it. They can have him find Wanda, and she can she thinks she's an actress. Wait, they can have him find Wanda, and she can think she's an actress. I don't know. I don't know. Because I also don't know how his Hollywood aspect of him being an actor, how that's going to fit into anything else going forward. Like, he could do acting stuff and still be a superhero, but because at this point, I don't know if his powers are hidden. I do wonder if he's going to be out in the public and being now, like, if it will come out of Simon Williams, actor, also superhero. I don't know if they're going to get there, if that makes any sense. iPhone fingers. Okay, you're good, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as of right now, him having superpowers is still hidden. We also don't know if he had a taste of kind of like doing superhero work behind the scenes, him breaking out Trevor, him giving that family money, paying their bills, their medical bills at the end of season 8. But we really don't know on the grand scheme of things if he's going to be going out saving people, if he's going to be using his powers. I hope so. I would hope so. But really, they need us to kind of get to a point where he can act, like, and also be allowed to act, but also be allowed to do superhero stuff, because I don't know how they're going to keep it separate. So it's kind of like, I do think that role might break where he might be able to do both, because I don't know, like, you could clearly tell, especially if he's wearing this costume, being a superhero, that this is Simon Williams, Wonder Man, going by the persona Wonder Man saving people. Like, you see what I'm saying? Is that I don't know how they're going to go about it, so it should be interesting. They should get a real life actor cameo in the show, Will Smith. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they keep doing it with it, they can really, because they can tap in with Simon being an actor. They can tap in and bring us more actors, like cameos. They could if they wanted to. So that would be, hell, we could have Kevin Feige show up. Wouldn't that be funny if Kevin Feige showed up as like a little cameo? He could. He actually could. They could do that in the Hollywood space. Kevin Feige could show up as a cameo. So, Damage Control can have him join the Avengers and try to take them down. from the inside, low JK comic plot. Exactly, comic plot. That wouldn't. He clearly doesn't like Damage Control, especially because Damage Control hired Trevor to get information on him to put him away in prison, but also had Trevor locked up in prison. He won't be doing anything for Damage Control, but I do like where you were going with that, Lawrence. That's good. What happened with Doorman in that actor? Is that actor dead? I don't know. That's a great question, Thomas. I don't know what happened to Doorman. He is on the run. Oh, wait, is that your response to Thomas, Lawrence? He's on the run? I didn't know that, if Doorman's on the run or not. Or is Simon on the run? Because in a way, Simon's not on the run. They don't know if he was the one that broke out Trevor, but Trevor is now on the run because he broke out of Damage Control. So I don't know what that means for Trevor. I don't know what that means for Simon, because Simon, I don't think is going to stay with Trevor on the run. I think he just broke him out. So that should be interesting. I don't know. It all's interesting to see where everything's going to go, because I don't know where they're going to go going forward, but I just like how grounded the story was. And it motivates me even more as someone that has dreams and has a passion for making content and has set goals. This just motivates me even more to stick to those goals, because you never know, like, what could be the thing that really keeps, that could launch you in a certain place, or, you know what I mean? It just motivates me even more to just keep going, because Simon kept going, and he had people in his corner. He had Trevor in his corner to tell him to keep going, don't give up. I have you guys in my corner telling me to don't give up and keep going, so I'm going to keep doing it. You said I meant is the actor who went into Doorman dead. I don't know. Doorman is being mentored by Damage Control. Oh yeah, being monitored by Damage Control. Yeah, they have him. Yeah, they were doing experiments, I think, on him too. I think that's what they said. So that is interesting. I don't know if the guy that went inside him is dead or not. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't think they ever resolved that. I think he's still missing. I think he's presumed dead. That actor that went inside him, I think he's presumed dead. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, I really like this series. I really like it. I don't really have much more to say besides I really enjoyed the series. I think Yahya did an amazing job. Or Yahya, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Me and my sister were looking that up earlier, how to pronounce his name. I think it's pronounced Yahya. But he did an amazing job. I think he really made this character grounded and really made you care for this character and really made you feel like this character is real. Especially in a sense of a world where we live in a world of superheroes. You were able to make someone feel real and grounded. And I really appreciate that. And that was via his performance. So shout out to him. Shout out to, of course, Sir Ben Kingsley. Killed it again as Trevor Slattery. They really fleshed this character out, of that this character isn't just a joke. He's actually, cares about Simon, cares about the craft of acting, and we really got to see more of Trevor, who Trevor is in this. And I appreciated that. I thought that was really, really cool. So, yeah. I like Watchmen too. Yeah, he was in Watchmen, yeah. I forgot he was a part of the DCU. Yeah, he was Black Manta in Aquaman. So, yeah. So, shout out to them, because it's really about a relationship, between friends, finding friendship, motivating each other to achieve your goals, and trying to, make it in the Hollywood space. So, I loved it. It was just very grounded in a world where it's about superheroes and God. So I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. And also shout out to Destin Daniel Cretton. He's doing Spider-Man Brand New Day right now, which is just incredible. I can't wait to see what he brings to Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think he really, since Destin really cares about characters and what motivates characters and really like what drives a person, I think he's really going to do a really great job with Peter Parker and Peter Parker's like way of thinking and the way of, what motivates Peter Parker. Like I'm excited to see the character study that Destin does with Peter Parker of like where Peter's at in his headspace after No Way Home. Like it's going to be really, really cool to see that. I'm very excited. How do you think your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man would do Infinity War if the show gets that far? I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I really don't know. Thomas, you're asking a great question. I really don't know what they're going to do for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. I'm excited though. I loved the first season. I loved it. They were going to Batgirl this show. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't scrap it. I'll tell you that, because we need shows like this that show us that, just because we're a little weird doesn't mean that, there's something wrong with us, or, if there's a dream that you don't just give up, you keep going, that there's always going to be someone in your corner that tells you to keep going. We need shows like this. I'm glad they did it. I connected a lot with the show. Destin, you said Destin, fault for its release. Yeah, I'm glad that he made it happen. I'm glad he made it happen because this was good. This was different. I'm glad Marvel, this is the thing I always say, is that Marvel is always putting out different content. It's not always the same thing. And this just proves me right, where it's things are very different. I'm glad they did it. This project feels very different amongst the plethora of Marvel projects we have. Andrew Guest is the showrunner, though. Okay, cool. Well, shout out to Andrew Guest. Wonder Man movie could have a cameo on Brand New Day. Maybe Peter watch the movie. Maybe maybe that would be cool if Wonder Man, maybe promotions happening for Wonder Man the movie in New York while Peter's swinging around. Who knows? Who knows what cameos we could get in Brand New Day? Who knows? That's a good thinking though, Otto, with that. Like we could have a cameo of some sorts, whether it's promotion for Wonder Man in New York on the billboard, or maybe it's playing and Peter Parker's in the theater. Who knows? Andrew did 30 Rock Community and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He did Community. I love Community. So if he did some episodes in Community, that's really, really cool. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine too. I didn't finish Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I actually dropped off at a point, but I did enjoy it. I did. But yeah, just an overall great series. I recommend everybody give it a chance, give it a watch. I just expect there not to be a lot of fighting, there not to be a lot of like power showing. But you do see his powers in some episodes. You do see a fight sequence in an episode. But they're not focusing on his powers. They're focusing on the person who is Simon Williams. And about this man just trying to make it in Hollywood. That's their focus. And I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, guys, it is 2:52. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to end stream here. I'm glad we came on to talk about it. I think we kind of covered everything. I really don't know where the character Wonder Man's going to go. They kind of left it very open-ended, where like the character could really go anywhere. We'll just have to wait and see. I really don't have any predictions. Maybe we could see him in Secret Wars. Maybe we could see him in a West Coast Avengers project. Maybe Midnight Suns. Who knows? But I don't see it getting a second season. Because I don't see where they could go with that. I see him being heavily involved in upcoming movies and stuff, but I don't know where a second season could go. So, That's kind of where I'm at with what I know and where I'm kind of what I'm kind of feeling about Wonder Man. But I really enjoyed this series. It's definitely high up on my list. I might even have to do a Disney Plus ranking again of the shows because honestly, it's up there. It's up there. I gotta relook at Disney Plus shows because I honestly don't know where I would put it amongst the live action Disney Plus series stuff. But it's up high on my list, that's for sure. Because I like how different it was and I like how grounded it was. And I think it was shot. It was one of them. I think it was one of, in terms of the way it was shot, I think it's shot just as good as Loki. And Loki has that grain effect, especially season 2 of Loki. So I just love the cinematography they did in this. So shout out to the cinematography for the series. But yeah, guys, we're going to get out of here. I do hope everybody does have a great rest of their Wednesday, a great rest of the day. I'm actually going to eat some lunch, and I am also before we get out of here, episode 7 of Fallout, my reaction is up on Patreon. So if anybody's been watching Fallout season 2, my latest reaction to Fallout is up on Patreon. Feel free to go check it out. Of course, if you are new and you are watching Fallout, and maybe you didn't know I was doing reactions to Fallout, and you want to go join my Patreon, it's under the $5 or $10 tier. All my stream archive for Wonder Man for the watch party last night. Like I said, I'm going to clarify again. Episodes 1 through 8 reactions are up free right now up on Patreon. They are up free, so go check out my stream archive, my live watch party recording of Wonder Man. Go check it out. It's up on Patreon. It's also up still on Twitch if you want to go over and watch it on Twitch. It's there. It's not going to stay up for much longer up on Twitch, but it is up. It's going to be up forever up on Patreon. My full series watch of Wonder Man. So it is up there. But as always, guys, hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll catch you guys this Saturday for this Friday's chill stream. Peace.